Yo,
we're back at the game, back at the game. Sorry, man. Thing
yo,
was
what's
off.
going on, guys?
Yo. Obviously, we took a week out because of you.
Yes.
You. So what happened, man? Give us the details. So, how many female friends were there? Did anyone get pregnant? Is
no
everyone
pregnancies.
safe? Who got beaten up? Tell us the
See,
details because people were saying, Where the heck is this? Where the heck is this?" So tell us, man. Why did you leave the fans waiting?
honestly, what happened is it was literally on Thursday. I got a message from my friends, and she tells me like, "Hey, we're going to a cottage this weekend. Let's go. Let's go." And I was like, "Man, this is short notice." Anyways, I make some phone calls. Was able to get off time from work, and I go. Then I actually take my laptop and I take my headset with me, hoping to do it. But I knew that I was like, maybe if we have like a quiet area in the house or in the cottage, I'll be able to give you guys a show. But then I tried it. I tested it out. I went into a room. I tried it, and like there was just a bit too much noise. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it if we can't give you guys a proper show where I can actually sit down and I could focus.
And also, you said that you were like tipsy or you were like a bit drunk.
Yeah. Because like the thing is like we were essentially we were waking up and getting started on the day, right? Like we'd have breakfast and then instantly, and like we were hitting the beach in the like during the afternoon, and then we'd be back. And we were at the beach when actually around like 2 p.m. And I was just not 100%. So I was like, you know what? It's probably best if I don't go live.
So you're what? You're in Toronto or Ontario?
No, this is in an area called Sarnia. This is it's a lake that borders the U.S. Right? But typically, it's a very good it's a great tourist site.
So you actually have, because whenever I think of a beach, I'm thinking like good weather, because there are beaches here in England, but the beaches here in England, the rain's too great because. For instance, like there's a beach in Brighton, but all you see are just freaking rocks because the weather is freaking trash. So
no, we have a ton of beaches, but mostly they're lakes, right? Beaches on lakes, because mostly, especially in the region that I'm in, southwestern Ontario. So like it's mostly just lakes. So we go to like Grand Bend, like Port Stanley, Sarnia, but like full on like sand beaches. Of course, you have your rock beaches as well, but the one that we went to was actually it was pretty dope. And the cottage itself, like. We've been going to it for the past 2-3 years. Like the owners, we have a good relationship with them where we book it again and again. It's pretty sweet, main rule, guys, always know this, man. Ratios is about everything. The ratio is everything. You always have to, because we went 9 people. It was 2 couples, 2 guys, me and my boy, and 3 girls, right? If you want to have a good time, this is how you want to have it. I want to make sure the guy to girl ratio, girls are more. It's not because you want to just get the girls. It's to make it less awkward. Because when it's too many guys, egos get in the way, all that stuff.
That's what guys, I think, even in clubs and so forth, what they would do is girls go for free and guys come in. You don't want a situation where it's more guys than girls. You don't want that. You always want to have more girls than guys.
Yeah, guys are rowdy. That's the thing, is like with girls just want to have fun. Girls just actually go to
and also guys, they act differently when girls are around.
Absolutely.
Like for instance, a room full of just guys, it's about once girls come, guys, they
everybody's quiet and shy and
chill. So basically, it's because I told you, because what's for me, like, so basically it was all boys for me for like most. So from so when I came in, so I came here when I was 14. So from
did I cut off?
Oh, hello, are you there? You're red. Come in red. 1 2. I think red might have cut off. You're red. Oh shit! I think red just cut off, man. You're red. Let me text you.
Yo, my bad. No, I'm good.
Are you there? Are you there? Okay,
yeah. No, it's what's it called? I don't know what's wrong with my internet. I actually have to call my provider because this is ridiculous. This is, by the way, people.
So basically, so you have BrickNet there. So you now have how?
But my download speed is 500 megabytes per second. My download speed, like it's, so I have. It's supposed to be great.
But what's your upload speed?
That I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I think upload speed sometimes actually.
One sec, just to respond to the guys. First of all, Chainsaw Man, I've been doing great, man. Missed you too, guys. Obviously, glad to be back. Both me and HH are always in here. And as for Infinite, no, bro, no, I don't get into any of that stuff, man. No, bro, I'm a vanilla guy, bro. 1v1 me. That's it. With girls, 1v1 me. That's it. I don't do any.
No. So that's what I said. Basically, so I was for me when I was thinking, it was all boys from like 13 to 17. Then like 17 to like 19, it was girls. And trust me, When it was just like all guys, all we need to do was just fight. I remember when we were in the classroom, like literally, we just come into the classroom and just the amount of fights I got into in boys' school was crazy. Like literally every single time you always had to fight.
Egos. It's too many egos.
So the moments that girls came in, all that fighting all stopped. Everyone matured, everyone dressed better, everyone actually showered properly, everyone actually presented themselves better. So yeah, so basically women just sort of force guys to step the game up because you just totally switch. But when it's just all guys, bro, it's basically it's more violent and aggressive.
Absolutely. And like I love hanging out with my boys. Like if it's just us boys and we're just going to chill and everything like that. Like because it's more, we tend to have like more jokes and we'd be more relaxed in those situations. But it's always good to mix it up. It's always good to have balance and just change it up a little bit.
Shout out Chainsaw Man. Thank you. We're back.
Best guy.
So
yeah, what about you, HH? What have you been up to the past 2 weeks? Anything new with you? We never ask HH how he's doing, guys. We never ask HH how he's doing.
Oh yeah, no. As I said, I told you, I'm a mystery. That's why I wear shades, man. Because I'm a mystery. I'm an enigma. So I'm a very private person. I try not to reveal too much about myself. Because I would say to guys, look, I gave you football. I gave you some views on my entertainment and so forth. That's it. You don't need to know about my private life, man. But no, for me. Working. Actually, what's it called? I'm currently engaging in some scam that happened to me, man. So
I heard about that. I saw your tweet about that. That's crazy. Like, what happened?
Yeah. Basically, it's currently happening. But yes, some guys have tried to scam me. So we're just trying to sort that out right now. So
and you know what? This is what I do is for me, because I fear those kind of things. I never use my personal bank account. I like my bank, my like debit card. I never touch it. I only use credit.
That's what I see. What I have 3 accounts. So I have one account that is my debit card thingy and so much and everything, and then I have 2 other accounts.
Yep.
So it's like but my thing that's my 2 other accounts. That's where the bulk of my cash are in my 2 other accounts, and my one account that's just the one that I just use for everyday stuff. Because let's say this is a recommendation to any people out there, especially if you've been victim of scam like I have more than one bank account.
Yep.
And make sure all of your money is in a bank account that is not associated to any debit card.
For me personally,
the debit card or credit card that you have, that can be your own account, but the account that has most of your money, put that in a separate account that has nothing to do with any credit or debit card. Because, bro, these guys are getting very sophisticated, bro. Very sophisticated.
That's why I only use credit. Because if you use credit is it's not really your money. It's insured. So you can always file a false or like a scam or fraud on it, and they will reimburse your money. If it's your debit or checking account, it has to go through an entire investigation for your reimbursed. Even though every usually bank has like insurances on like up to 100,000 or up to certain amounts, but they will cover you. But it's always a long, grueling process. So that's why like my debit card is collecting dust. Like I never use it. It's just I get my paychecks just forwarded into it.
No, because
I just use it to just pay bills.
Because my sister uses a credit card. Because I've never really asked her like, okay, well, how does the credit card thingy work? Because she basically has like this, because she keeps on saying, oh, I've got to like pay off all this debts on my credit card. So when I say, I'm like, whoa. But I never really asked that. Okay, what is the benefits of having a credit card as opposed to like a debit card?
So for example, like it's actually really good knowledge for the people that are listening. So basically, it's always good to always use your credit card as long as you're using it within what you're typically paying for. Let's say, for example, you have to buy $40 worth of groceries. Put that money on your credit card, and then from your debit account, you could pay towards your credit card. The reason for that is you build your own credit. You start establishing a good line of credit, which, especially for young adults, if you're looking in the future to buy a car, you want to finance a cell phone, you want to buy a house, you want to get property, you want to get a business loan, you need to establish credit. So a credit card will help build that like history, and especially because you're using it as a substitute to your debit card. Now, careful, you don't want to overspend on your debit card where you're now paying interest and you're falling into debt. I just use it in substitute to my checking account. So whatever I'm going to spend, typically, I spend it on my credit card and then immediately pay it off, so I don't pay interest, and to build my credit. And when you do that as well, it's also safer because, like I said, with your credit card, if payments, whenever you pay with a credit card, it takes like about 4 to 5 days for it to actually be like posted. Right, because it'll go under pending transactions for a bit. So what you want to do is you can, if let's say you see a fraudulent transaction or a fraudulent amount taken out, what you could do is just call your credit card company. hey, this wasn't me. I didn't do that. They'll just change your numbers and your new card, and that money that transaction gets canceled out without you having to lose anything.
Because this is something that I'll consider. A credit card, man, something because I've always said that. Oh yeah, debit. Because I've never really sat down and said, okay, what are the benefits of getting this credit card? So
I just feel like it's more secure and it's really good because, especially if you're living in a Western world where credit is heavy here, because most people here don't buy anything cash. Everything here is loans. Everything. Whether you see somebody who's opening a business, it's all bank loans. Whether you see somebody opening up, buying a house, it's all on a mortgage. Whether you see somebody buying a car, it's all on loans. Their cell phones financed. Everything is like that. So credit is very important. So by getting a credit card and using it, well, because you're spending money anyways, might as well spend money on your credit card and establish that line of credit. Like, for example, for me, I got my credit card when I was at like 18 years old. It only had $500 limit. Now it's up to $25,000 limit. I never use it. It never goes over $800. It's just every year I get a pre-approval and they just they up my limit. So I got to the point where now I could literally open up a business with my credit card. That's how much how good my credit is on it. But I will never use it. I'll never honestly. I'm even gonna ask to even lower it back down to like $5,000 just in case. But I cannot it's up to 25 right now. Yeah,
Jesus, man.
But
I think it's something that I'll actually consider, man. Credit, because I've never really thought, okay, what are sort of the benefits, drawbacks, and so forth of getting the whole credit card thing?
Yeah, the biggest drawback.
Is also the whole thing of building up credit towards something. So
that's exactly my issues. Like with people that you typically go towards credit cards is that they don't pay attention to their spending habits. They tend to overspend. And the problem is once you fall into that cycle of debt, where let's say, for example, now you have like $2,000-$3,000 on your credit card, right? And let's say, for example, you're bringing in bi-weekly, let's say $1,400-$1,500, right? Obviously you have your expenses. So you're behind on your credit card payments. When you go through it, when you're through that process, you're only going to be digging your hole deeper because at that point you're only paying interest. So you don't want to do that. What I'm giving advice for is, let's say, for example, if you're planning to spend, let's say you're planning to buy a mattress for yourself. A mattress costs $300. You have the $300 on your debit card, right? That's what you're going to pay for. So you go and put that $300 on your credit card, pay for the mattress on your credit card, and then go to your debit and transfer that money over. You gain two things there. Instead of just wasting that $300 and just paying for it and just losing it, you get the benefits of either cashback rewards from your credit card, you improve your credit rating, and you pay no interest on that transaction whatsoever. So you just use your credit card and you get a double whammy benefit of cashback rewards and improved credit. And you get your mattress for the same price and everything. So you lose nothing. And like I said, for security, credit cards, there's a pending period where the transaction isn't posted. So if you would see anything on your app like, oh, I didn't make this transaction, I didn't buy this, somebody scammed or anything, you need to just call the number on the back of the card, tell them this wasn't me. They can look at your track record and they'll easily waive that charge off.
Look, man. I think you might have convinced me, man. I may just go ahead and get a whole credit card thing.
Talk to your bank. See what options they offer because there's different cards for different people. Like for example, the card that I have, it gives me triple. Like I get cashback rewards, but I get more cashback rewards, like a bigger percentage when I pay for groceries. When I pay for my phone bill and when I pay for my internet bill, like I'll get like 3 times more points. And like every month I get typically like $40 like cash back. Like I spend typically like around $800 to $900 on my credit card typically on a monthly basis. So I get $40 back, which is better than nothing. If you consider over a year, you're getting $500 just from spending money. Like 480 exactly, and I always say them up and just use them towards paying a bill. So
no. It's something I'm going to consider, man. All right, look, let's hit it. So
let's go.
Dr. Dre and his daughter, man. So quick rundown in case you don't know the story. So basically, I posted a video on it, but I definitely wanted to bring this as a discussion for the pod. So the story broke out that Dr. Dre's daughter, who apparently they say is estranged from Dr. Dre, that after like a few months or so forth, I believe she has like 4 kids, and she's currently homeless and living outside of her car. So people just said, whoa, wait a minute. Is this Beats by Dre Dr. Dre? Is this the chronic Dr. Dre? Is this the guy who is still getting checks off of Eminem's albums and so forth? And is this the guy who is behind one of the biggest selling musical artists of all time? So is this the guy who is one of the very few music billionaires in there? How is a guy that's a billionaire allowing his daughter to be homeless? So that is what, first of all, I was like, whoa, That's crazy. That's mad. Like, because I'm in two minds. So let me just tell you my first mind. My first mind is no matter what my child does, whether we argue, whether we are having arguments, whether they completely disrespect me, at the very least, especially if I'm a billionaire, at the very least, you've got a roof over your head. At the very least.
Yeah.
I'll give you like a basic London apartment and so forth, but at the very least, even if we hate each other or we're not talking to each other, at the very least, there is a roof over your head. So that was my initial thing. You know, that was my initial thing. But then we go deeper. We have to go deeper here. We don't know everything. You see, Red, when people view stuff, they get very reactionary. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, daughter, homeless of a billionaire? No, that's not bad.
And also, when you add to it, now look at Dr. Dre's history, where he obviously beat up a female reporter back in the NW. So people are like, oh, put one woman together. This looks bad. But here's my thing, though, is that we don't know everything. And I said there's such a thing called tough love. See, I am shooting Dr. Dre bail. So I don't know that this is true, but let's just say, because I like to look at there are three sides to every story, you know, even four. So what if? This may not be true, but what if it's a case of where Dr. Dre and Thingy, they have fallen out, and she has been very disrespectful to him and so forth, and she just assumes that she's always going to help him, even if she disrespects him. And Dr. Dre, you know what? I'm going to now give you tough love. So you're now going to now have to fend for yourself without my support. And after a few months, you have to humble yourself and apologize. So that's where I'm sort of out there, where it's maybe a thing of like, no, this is because for me, I believe in parenting and tough love. And I do believe that if you give a child everything, you will spoil them. And if you indulge a child, especially when a child knows that you're rich, they're going to indulge you. Because I have known and been to school with rich kids who completely use and abuse the kind of power and influence, the funds that their parents has. So what if it is a case that this is tough love? That, okay, we don't know the whole story, but this is a case where it's like, I am going to now force you to fend for yourself, see what it's like to suffer, see what it's like to not have the safety net of your rich billionaire father, and now let's see what you could do. But that's just me shooting him bail. So that's where I am. But in your mind, what say you? Are you like, this is bad, or do you think that there's maybe more that we don't know?
No. Honestly, I think it's. I don't blame Dr. Dre at all. I think he has nothing to do with this. Let me tell you this, HH. One thing that you forgot to mention: his daughter's 38 years old. She's grown. Like HH.
Okay, Red. Very quick. Sorry. If let's say you're 60. And you're a billionaire, and you know that your 38-year-old daughter is living outside of their thingy, and you know you're a billionaire, will you still sleep well at night? Yes,
I'll tell you why, HH. Do you want to know how much she's living out of her car, remember? Do you want to know how much her car payments are a month? She's paying $2,300. Wait. Now, let me just fact check that. One sec. She's as a result, Young has been living out of her rented SUV while her 4 children stay with friends. It's an SUV that costs $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week. Sooner or later, they're going to take so she's paying $2,300 for a car, man. Like $2,300 for a car. Like $2,300 is more than enough for rent. It's more than enough to get a cheap car, and you can get a job. Right? When you're 38 years old, even if your dad is the richest man on the planet, and if you've disrespected him, you've gone your separate ways, you've said pretty much that, you know what, I am capable of doing this on my own. I don't need your help. Right? So when you make that decision and you go on your own and you go with these poor expenses and you're having kids and all that stuff, where are the kids' fathers? Where are the kids' fathers? What you've made these life decisions? Why aren't you like? Think about it. Do you think anybody would have sympathy for me and you if we were in the same situation? Your dad's not a billion or anything. It doesn't matter because that is irrelevant in this situation. How much money he has.
For me, it is. See, it is because no. Because my thing is, here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but this is my belief, and this is why I've always been very wary about whenever, let's say I am sexually involved with everyone, with any girl I'm always placed very safe, because I know that the moment a child comes into the world, that's my responsibility.
Mhm.
So I know that, bro, I don't want to now get into any situation, because once that child comes to the world,
See,
as a man, it is my it is my duty to basically say what's up and be able to
okay.
protect them.
Now, here's the thing. Like, I agree with you, because like I'm raised in an Arab culture, and anybody who knows like Arab culture, Middle Eastern culture, our parents take care of us until we get married, and then we take care of them until, God forbid, they pass. Right. So we like we like the respect is always there. You always respect your parents, and it's a two-way street. Right. Like I said, they take care of you until you're married. You take care of them until they pass. Like it's both ways, and you always have to respect your parents. Your parents respect you. Like, for example, okay, parents aren't allowed to hit their children on their face or anything like that, anywhere to disrespect them, to lower from their morale. Now, how do we know that she didn't disrespect him? It's just, you have to remember, like, this girl grew up with every luxury imaginable, like everything. Like, there's no schools she had, like money she was getting. Like, by law, Dr. Dre was forced to provide them with money. Even if you're saying he's a bad person, he did provide for her at least until she was 18 years old, which is more than any of us here in the chat can really hope or dream of, right? So she had all that. You look at her, she has 3 kids, all from 3 different fathers, right? She has no job. She has no work experience. She has nothing to show for it, and she's 38. She's 40. She's 40. Like, if I were to right now, I'm 27. If I were to right now save $10 a day, but now I'm 38, I won't need any help. I'll have a security plan to at least have shelter. How can you not have the ability to rent out a small apartment, rent out something? Do you want to know why, HH? Because she's bougie. She can rent something cheap and something poor, but she doesn't want to. She wants to still live in luxury. She thinks that her dad owes her, but she doesn't want to respect her. She doesn't want to come into grips with it. Of course, you don't know the ins and outs of it. We don't know what actually happened between the two. But from my speculation, it's very hard for a parent to really disown their child. So for him to disown her, she must have done something where she disrespected him, where she went against him, where he felt like, I don't want to co-sign these decisions.
But can I just push back on you? Because you said that, and your point is fair. How can a 38-year-old be in this situation? It's true. Crazy.
No education. No education.
Red, let me go 40 on you. Let me go 40 on you. Shouldn't the parents take some responsibility?
Absolutely.
Shouldn't the fact that you've allowed your 38-year-old child to not be able to be independently able to fend for themselves or so forth, and they're in this situation, isn't that somewhat your responsibility as a parent? Isn't that somehow your feeling as a parent? And if it is your feeling as a parent, don't you hold some responsibility? And I see, my thing is, we don't know all the details, because it could be a case of where, no, Dr. Ray has been an amazing parent. He's done everything, but she's just a bad child. And the bad child is a bad child, because they're children who are just problem children who will never learn, and they could only learn that the hard way, where you've done everything you can, but the only way that they're going to learn is trial by fire. Let them suffer, and that's how they will. Tough love. I fully believe in tough love. But on the flip side is, what if it's a case of where you've been a bad parent, and this is a result of your bad parenting?
So here's the thing: no family, no parents know their child. No, none. There's 0 parents that know their child. 0. And I'll tell you why. I have the best parents in the world. My mom and dad were there for me since the jump. Like, never abandoned me. They gave me every luxury. Like, they helped me with in school. They made sure that I finished high school. They got me up to the point where I can get into college on my own. My parents, I would never say at any moment in time gave me anything lesser than my contemporaries or my colleagues or my fellow students. They always made sure that I was properly provided for. But at the same time, I never really listened to my parents. My parents didn't want me to drink. I was out drinking with my friends. My parents didn't want me to smoke weed. I was smoking with my friends. My parents didn't want me dating girls. I was dating girls. My friends didn't want me to hang out with certain friends. I hang out with certain friends. A human being is always responsible for their own actions. A parent will be there for guidance. They did teach me right from wrong and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I am my own person. And especially when you get to the point of she turned 18. She became a full adult 20 years ago. She became a full adult in the year 2000. NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were the biggest bands on the planet during that period. That's how long ago this was, HH. And I just don't see how, okay, maybe they spoiled her. Maybe he wasn't present in her life. But like, when you're 25, 26, I mean, after years of partying, at one point you're going to be like, well, maybe I should make something out of this. I'm pretty sure, you guys don't even know. Maybe he's helped her time and time and time and time again. But now she's 40. Like, now she's 40. Like, at what point do you stop? At what point do you go like, you know what, maybe I should find stability? Why isn't she married and found a man? Why? Like, honestly, like, think about it. Like, why don't we have these conversations? Like, she's 38 years old. She has 3 children. She comes from a good family. She lives in one of the most privileged areas in the world, in LA.
Then you have to, the very fact that you have all these things, it has to go to parenting.
No, question the character. She's not a child. She's a she's
no. But
been a grown ass woman for 20 years.
How do you have come from such stock where you have money upon money and such a massive safety net, and you now end up in a situation where you have, okay, rich or not rich, it's very simple for somebody who's even like a rich child to have children with several different people. Like Nick Cannon has like 4 or 5 different wives, so that's fair. How is it a situation where you come from such stock and such fortune and such wealth that you've ended up this way? That's my thing. So 100%, a man is a man, a woman is a woman, a human being is a human being, and once you're an adult, you're an adult. But from 0 to 18, that's parents has a responsibility of, I've given you the best parenting and the best foundation. Once you're 18, you're on your own. But
Which
I have
we don't know
done
if he did or he didn't. Which we don't know if he did or he didn't. We don't know.
Hence why it's the discussion. Hence why once we now receive this news, we have to look at it in several different ways, because Twitter have already been judge and jury of Dre, because you manhandled a female reporter years ago, you are the devil, you are now guilty because you hate women and so forth. But that's Twitter. They don't think. They are very reactionary. So the whole beauty about this, guys, is that we don't judge. We look at things in several different ways. Because I'm just saying that it's Red. We can't ignore that it's pretty wild. That's the daughter of Dr. Dre, one of the wealthiest people on the planet, is homeless.
Yeah,
because Red. Let's keep it real. Let's be real right now. Do you believe the daughter or son of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or Bill Gates would be in this situation? I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there.
I'll be honest with you. I've been watching a lot of GCS videos. It's a crime YouTube channel, and they show you like interrogation rooms of like murders and stuff like that. And there's a lot of them where they're like this. There was a case for this woman called Casey Anthony who murdered her own child, right? And essentially, she grew up very privileged under like she's what's that word that they use? Affluenza. She's a victim of affluenza, where her parents, gave her everything, and she was a very compulsive liar and all that stuff. And eventually, like even before she was found guilty, her parents like kind of had that film, but like they completely threw under the bus. They cut her off. You see a lot of these stories where these kids get like cut off. It does happen. Like for me personally, my speculation is from looking at like the entire picture. Like let me disclose this, by the way. I'm a huge Dr. Dre fan. Like Dr. Dre, every piece of work he's ever released, every artist he's ever worked with, I'm a huge fan. From John Connor, Joel Ortiz, he's worked with Rakim, Eminem, NWA, Snoop Dogg, Crooked Eye. Like he's insane. Compton from 2015, his last album, Compton, classic for me. I literally played that CD until it's unplayable. I have it in my car, just in rotation, until like now it lags every like. His beat, his productions, love him.
Man, Red. No, Red. But when you just list all these things, man.
No, but HH. But here's the thing. No. Again, I'm not done, because I'm not trying to defend him here. But what I'm trying to say is, HH is like, look, if let's say he did the bare minimum in his childhood by giving child support to her mother who was raising her, right? Just right then and there, HH, he did enough. Not the best, but he did enough to make sure, because he made sure that his daughter has food, water, shelter, and she's going to school. That's it. Like in that scenario, you gave the bare minimum. Now, I get it. Your father's a billionaire. Nobody in his family should be struggling. But if you have a child who literally is 38 years old, has no job, no education, no stable relationship, nothing really, nothing really of substance. like at all, nothing at all. And then on top of that, doesn't even own a car. She's renting a car, and the car rent is $2,300, right? At what point would you want to hold that person accountable? They've been adults for 20 years. Now, I get it. He has the money. He could easily just solve our problems, right? But isn't it like, how do we know that he didn't support her up until she was like 35, 36? And then at one point he was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I keep supporting you and you keep making bad decisions. And my money that I'm giving you is leading you to getting more, like getting pregnant, partying, doing drugs, doing all this stuff. Because money isn't good. Giving somebody money, if somebody comes and just gives you money and spoils you, there's something where you can spoil a child rotten. I would have, if she was, let's say 25, I would honestly sympathize with her. Like, come on, man. Like, it's very easy for a young adult to get swayed and make bad decisions. But she's 38. Like, by the time you hit 30,
you're basically once he hits 30.
Like, that's you should have that ability. You should have that. Like, we all have that feeling, especially when you reach your late 20s. For the guys that are younger here, you still haven't felt it. When you reach your late 20s.
Wait. How old are you?
I'm 27. Again,
I don't want to reveal my age, but trust me, once you hit that 30, it's a switch. Because you think you know what. Trust me, once you hit that 30, once you just say you're now 30,
it's different.
It's a switch. It's different because when there's that 2, you can just say, yeah, I am. Once you just say I'm 30, because for me, once I told you I won't reveal my age, but once I hit 30, it just psychologically meant something like, oh, damn, like I'm no longer 23. And suddenly I didn't know that, no, things have to change. And once it was 30, I started to make serious life changes. Oh no, I have to do this. I've got to do this. I've got to be focused. I've got to be a lot more thing like that, So
and here's what happened to me. Here's how my wake up moment was: when 2020 happened, the turn of the year happened. Like, a lot of people were posting videos of or pictures of me 10 years ago in 2010 and me in 2020 and their growth and stuff like that. And that for me, I was only 25 or 26 at the time. And I was like, man, like I want to have more to show for in life. Like, I'm not very content with where I'm at. I want to do more. I want to I immediately right then and there, I started looking into it. I'm in the process of buying a house now. And over the course of 2 years, just by putting my head on right and be like, no, I'm not happy where I'm at right now. I want to do better in life. I want to grow. So I started working more on myself, focusing more on myself, focusing on my health and my fitness, focusing. I kicked bad habits that I had. Literally, my friends right now, they see me probably once every couple of weeks or 3 weeks. Like, I have different friend groups. So I may hang out with one friend group this week, then another friend group this week. The reason for that is just to pull back so you don't have any emotional dependence on anybody. You can, everything's self-sufficient. You can focus on yourself. And I feel like I needed that. And like, that comes with age. Now for her, how come she never got that? How come she never had that sense of pride in herself where she's like, you know what, I want to have my own thing. That, you know what, my dad's giving me this money, or I'm getting this money in, or I'm getting this kind of club because I'm Dr. Dre's daughter. Maybe I should use this money and maybe open up just a store, open up a restaurant, open up a
Red, you can't do that.
Anything.
Red, no. Red, do you know why you can't do that? We don't know the dynamics of the family and how she was brought up. You see, we can both think like that because we've been brought up a certain way. Because we've been brought up a certain way, and because our parents have operated with us a certain way, we can think like that of, oh no, I have to be independent. But how do we know that she's been spoiled? If you're spoiled, what chance do you have? If you've been spoiled, how do you even have the capacity to be like, oh no, I own my own thing? No. If since you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you got stuff. Unless you're superhuman, how can you be like, oh, whoa, what the heck? But you see, Red, back to the original thing. Because how we started was people who are reactionary. And even I felt a victim of this. So once I first saw the story, I was like, hey, how is Dr. Dre a billionaire and your daughter is homeless? Then I said, wait a minute. Relax. Think, pause, think. And then this is the issue.
Wait. Hold on. They raised $200K for her? Is that true? They 200K? Wait, did they actually raise money for her?
Oh,
see, this makes my blood boil. There are people that are starving, that are struggling. There are single mothers out there that have no outlet, have no way out, and they just raised $200K for the daughter of a billionaire, a woman that had every luxury in life, everything. Everything.
You see, I've got to be real. I don't like that. You see, because do you know why? She knows that she can use, because there are a lot of women who hate Dr. Dre ever since he did what he did. So there are lots of women, especially black women, who will be like, "Oh, we're going to help you and support you, whatever." And see, again, Red, this goes back to our original point. And the original point is, you don't know.
Oh, it's not for Dre's daughter. Never mind. If it's not for Dre, okay, fine. I'm not mad.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because if it was for her, if it was for her, if they raised $200K just for her, like, I don't know. It's just for me. I like.
No. But
to see somebody that's that privileged to get like 1 million second chances, and then you have other women or other single mothers who actually don't have anybody, they have no support system at all, and once they go wrong, once their kids end up in jail, they end up in
but seriously, right? The original point is, it goes back to the thing of people being reactionary. Is like, we say in Nigeria, to know. And basically, what that means, to know, means that you think that you pretty much know everything. You think that you just know everything. You to know. So, okay, you've seen the story. Do you know what the dynamics of the father-daughter relationship is? Do you know whether, as we said, he's tried to help her? Do you know whether she has totally disrespected him? Do you know whether she said to him, "You know what? I don't need your help. Go away. I don't want you to support me in anything. I hate you. I want to go away." How do we know that hasn't happened? You see, if you don't know the full story, you can't make a full assessment, because parenting is complicated. Parenting is complicated because I told you, it could be a situation where he's like, "I am going to help you, but for these few months, you're going to suffer. And by you suffering, this is parenting, because this is now tough love. And once this situation humbles you, and you now see how difficult it is to now be by yourself and so forth, then you now come back home to yourself, and it will make you a better person by struggling." Mm-hmm. So who knows? But people, they don't even want to give that a chance or even a thought.
No, and somebody in the comments already said it. It's look, people nowadays, especially on Twitter and Twitter is a specific platform where I feel like,
screw Twitter, man. It's Twitter, basically, you know what? Twitter is full of
victims,
insecure people who were never ahead in school. They were probably bullied in school, and this is a way of how they can have their voices. Because if these people, the Twitter mob, were out in the open, nobody would care about you. You wouldn't have a voice. We could easily ignore you. But because you now mount together as a mob and you now lead a movement and so forth, you're now much more powerful than you could have ever be in reality. So,
Agent, if me and you, if any of one of these podcasts end up hitting the timeline one day, me and you are finished working.
Oh, screw them, man! Screw them! Okay, wait. Let's read. So, shout out to your boy Adash3. Thank you for the dub, bro. He says, last Monday, CNN reported on a woman who owes $1,900 rent and is being evicted. She's raised $200,000 on GoFundMe since and has yet to close its thoughts.
See, now look at this, right? Like greed is a motherfucker, right? Now this woman, yes, she's behind the rent. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I love these kind of stories. I love when somebody that has nothing, that ends up like the human kindness ends up coming by and just helping them and giving them, like, this $200,000 now has set this family for life. And to be honest with you, like, I don't mind when regular people, when the poor people get any kind of win, I'm always happy for it, even though it might come off as greedy or might come off as like she hasn't closed it.
But Red, no. Everything you're saying was beautiful, but is that thing of has yet to close it. Mm-hmm. So in her mind, she's like, "Oh, jackpot."
Honestly, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so rather than, "Oh, boom, thank you for helping me get back up," and you see, I don't blame her. Because it goes back to the whole thing of EA Sports and how they've turned FIFA into gambling. Yep, no, Red. People like you, who I expect better of you, you're the people that I blame for allowing EA to treat you like that. So
I quit 2 years ago.
Yeah, but
I was
still pensive.
I was a sucker. Yeah, I was getting licked, man. I put their kids through school.
Yeah,
I put their kids. I feel immense shame.
But seriously, but it's like, my thing is, I can't blame her, because it's like, if someone is giving me money, who am I to reject it?
Yeah.
Who am I? So Remember, especially in COVID, everybody is suffering. Everybody in the world is suffering. That's why people every single day they play the lottery. My gosh, please, please let me win. So if you've managed to have a situation where people are just giving you money, who am I to now say, oh no, sorry, I have enough money? No. Obviously, the whole thing is thank you for helping me and so forth. And now let me now get back on my whole thing. But you see, it goes back to if you can play on people's emotions, boom, you're good. And that's the thing. If you can tell a really great story that can really play into the emotions and the personalities of people, you're great. Dr. Dre's daughter could very easily create a situation and tell a narrative, and she can easily get everything paid off.
Oh no! People,
I'm Dr. Dre's daughter. This is a billionaire who doesn't care about me.
Bro,
who doesn't really care about
so
women.
many, like the racists will support her. People who hate women who hate Dr. Dre will support her. Just people who just want to support like feminism or women, just anything. Well, like she can easily paint the narrative. Like she already did. She like, and this is another thing, by the way. Like, first of all,
so her goal was to, but see, how can you blame her?
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
See, if you've told her what her thing is, and why do you keep? She's not to blame. Like, I mean, if I was in that position, unless I'm the angel Gabriel, why am I going to close it? You're giving me free money.
And don't worry, like just like what we're like how you were thinking, people will start to believe that too. You know the saying from The Dark Knight: you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. So what's going to happen with her? Like, yes, at the beginning she was a hero, and people wanted to help her. But you're right. If it does go on for too long, people are going to start being like, well, you're kind of being greedy at this point. Like, you should cash out. You should know when to cash out. Like, she got the help she needed. She got everything she needed. Now pull out. Get out of there. And I do see it, like how it could be greedy. But like, to be honest with you, I could see from her POV, like she's probably been through it. Like it's for a lot of people, and especially in America, or like in not only just America, like in most world countries, really, they're struggling. Like the lower classes, the middle class has been decimated. People, it's very hard for people to get out from the lower class to get out. Like even for a guy like me, for example, like I came from Syria during the beginning of the Civil War. I was a Canadian citizen, so I didn't get any benefits of being a refugee or anything like that. I came in as a regular citizen, and I had no help whatsoever. Like I rented out a room by myself, got a job, was going to high school while I was working, and then got into college. And I was working at a restaurant. Even then, they were working me to death, and they were even stealing the tips. They wouldn't even give us the tips that we would get. Like, life is hard, man. Like, life is not easy. And like I said, like, maybe I might not get that kind of handout. Maybe I might not get that kind of help. But to see somebody else get out of there, man, it's good. Why? Like, I'm not gonna hate on somebody that's poor that just got, because $200,000, to be honest with you, is not a lot of money.
No,
like,
which is what it's just Red. Remember what you just said right now, because I want you to remember this for when we get to the Scarlett Johansson topic.
Yep.
Because that's a key thing. But let's keep the movement. So
let's go.
Where we are 40. Let's call it 44. So, vaccinations. So a story came out. So obviously we all know who Jennifer Aniston is. You know, Friends, huge, massive star on Friends, and so forth. And she's obviously been a huge proponent of taking the vaccine. She has a massive, huge following, millions of followers, and so forth. And a story came out where she said that she has cut off several people from her daily life of who don't take the vaccine. So she says that I just cannot communicate with people who can't listen to science and listen to logic with regards to what the vaccine is about. And when I saw the story, I was like, okay, this is interesting, because we are seeing a lot of cases where people have lost friends, lost families, and so forth, based off differing views of the vaccine. So then my thing is, are we being overtly harsh on people who don't believe in the vaccine? Because see, I am someone who was questionable about the vaccine. I then sort of used logic, research, and my basic logic, and decided to take the vaccine. But I have no issue with people who are anti-vaccine or don't take the vaccine at all. Because I think that we have to live in a world where we are open to everyone's point of view. if we live in a world where, oh, you don't believe in the consensus, screw you, go stand in the freaking corner because you don't believe in the consensus. Okay, you don't believe in the consensus. Why? What's your argument? How so? I don't believe in your arguments and so forth, but I respect your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
There just seems to be a sentiment of those people who don't believe in the vaccine. These guys are losers. They're idiots. Let's just put them away. Get out. So forth. But it's like, let's keep it real. The Delta variant, I don't think gives a freaking damn about this vaccine that you have. These new variants and these new things that say, nah, screw you, man. We're going to say what's up to another lockdown. Okay, we're going to say what up. So these variants are trying to lubricate people right now. They're trying to say what's up. So do you think that Jennifer Aniston is right to sort of completely shun people who don't believe in the vaccine for whatever reason it may be, and so forth? Because my thing is, the point, she does make an interesting point of you because she said that, okay, you could pose a potential danger to me because if you haven't taken the vaccine, you could potentially pass this on to people because the vaccine is it's like a buffer. So, which could be true, you know. So
maybe if you have the vaccine, you can still transfer COVID.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it goes back to the freaking Delta variants, based off this variants and these mutations that could just keep on going, these vaccines don't mean crap. So the vaccine is just it's like a buffer, but it's in the be all and end all. So it goes back to the whole thing of like, should we really be totally against and shun people who just don't believe in this vaccine?
So there's a lot to unpack here. Like there's so much. Like first of all, I'm just gonna say this straight up. No, there's no opinions when it comes to medicine. There is or there isn't. Like I don't care if you're like I don't like you can make the most sense to me. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna always trust my doctor. I'm just always gonna do that. That's a gamble I'm gonna take in life. My doctor could be a shill, could be working for the government, working for the CIA, for NASA, whoever the fuck he's working with.
They're experts, man. They're experts.
Exactly. So I'm gonna listen to my doctor. Doctor, should I take this vaccine? Yes, yeah, I'll take it. I'll be honest, like Trudon in the chat, my opinion was I don't want to inject myself with a vaccine that hasn't gone through clinical trials, that's been released within 1 year, and it doesn't really guarantee that it doesn't even use antibodies. It uses something else. I'm not really a medicine, and like I thought that I'm a young healthy adult. I can just wait for the future to get a more accurate
or just rely on herd immunity, because if enough people have it, then automatically you just benefit from the herd immunity.
Yeah. So for me, for me personally, I did take my first dose. Just for clarification, I took my first dose of Pfizer. I'm going to take my second dose in 8 days exactly on the 16th of August. And I personally did it because, to be honest with you guys, I'm tired of the restrictions. I do want to travel. I do want to go out and do things. And personally, I saw my friends that took it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take it. Like everything's looking good and just get it over with. And hopefully if we get past a certain amount of herd immunity, we can finally open everything up and we can go back to normal. And that's why. So I'm hoping to do that. Also, I took it not just for me, but for the people around me so they could actually go back to living their normal lives. Because I see a lot of small businesses suffering. I have a friend of mine, by the way, guys, this is from the lockdown. I constantly cuss at Trudeau and Doug Ford for putting us through this. But for the lockdown, I have a friend of mine, right? He owns a restaurant. He bought it. He's one of the new Syrian refugees. Came here to start out life. Sold land back home. Brought in money and bought a restaurant. And he's making like it's a shawarma place. He's an upstanding citizen. Something that you aspire from every immigrant that comes here to come and open up their business and start a new life and start over. It's beautiful. Now with the lockdown that happened, they were paying the government's paying $2,000 in EI for employment insurance for everybody that lost or couldn't go to work because of COVID. Now, when the lockdown restrictions fell back, people weren't going back to work. Because why would I go back to work and work a minimum wage job at a restaurant where I can get paid $2,000 just by sitting at home? So for him, he is now working from 9 to 12 every day, like exhausting himself because nobody's coming. He literally offered employees like, here, come in, I'll pay you cash under the table. Just come and help me. He can't get employees. Businesses are suffering. People are suffering because of this lockdown. So, like, for me, like, this is why, yeah, like, there you go. Alex, right there, my uncle's been suffering. My dad lost his business during the lockdown. My dad had trucks that would transfer. He goes over to the U.S. and within the provinces. But the company, because where he gets his contracts from, shut down because of COVID, because all that stuff were done. So he lost his contract. So he had to sell his truck off. Right. So my dad opened his business just 4 years ago when he came and moved back to Canada and all that stuff. Like, so a lot of people are really struggling because of this, because of COVID. So I get that everybody wants to feel like they're important and that the government's out to get you and they're trying to inject you with things. But like, taking the vaccine is going to speed the process of us going back to normal. Now, let's get into what Jennifer Aniston has to do. First of all, you're entitled to choose whoever company you want to hang out with. You're entitled to do that. You can literally tell your wife, I want a divorce and I don't want you in my life anymore. So I can say, if I can say that to my wife, I can say that to
and she takes half. And she takes half of your money.
I mean, but doesn't matter. It's about
agreement. Guys, sign a prenup. Sign that damn prenup.
And also, it's just like you have the right to associate with it, whoever you want to do. So if she feels like, you know what, I'm Jennifer Aniston, I'm a very popular person, a lot of people want to associate with me, I'm not going to associate with anybody that's not a vax.
No. But Red, that's not even up to the discussion. You have a right to be with whoever you want to be.
Yep.
The issue is it right? I'm not saying that. Of course, you have a right to say, "Oh, because you're atypical, because you have freckles, I don't want to be with you." That's your right. But that's one side. Is it right to be like, because you don't believe in the vaccine, I don't want to associate with you? Because you don't believe it, because you don't believe in the science, I don't want to associate with you.
See,
because see, this goes back to why people say never discuss politics or religion. Because once you now bring that in, you now cause risk. Because see, I've never understood that. Because I'm one of those guys that says that even if you believe in extremely conservative views, those are your views. My uncle is a conservative.
Yep.
And I love my uncle. But he is a conservative, so I don't agree with the views we had. And also, my uncle, he loved Bush, and my uncle was in support of the Iraq War, but I was totally against the Iraq War.
Yeah,
but we can agree to disagree. So that no, we are still blood and so forth. But your views are not my views. If you have religious views, your religious views are not my views. But why do differing views and so forth have to cause such risk? Why can't you just agree to disagree? Why is it that because you don't agree with my ideology of life, we can't even break bread?
See, here's the thing: is like, for me personally, I'm against anti-vaxxers, not against anti-COVID vacciners. I guess that's the term. Like, because there's anti-vaxxers were pre-COVID. Anti-vaxxers have always existed. Like, if you see on Facebook groups, I feel like those people are just like, they're just being almost idiotic. It's like you're going against just modern medicine just for no reason, just because you feel like they're out to get you. They're, oh, this causes autism or this. Like, if you look at the actual evidence, overwhelmingly they're wrong. But there are some sources that prove them right, but they're wrong. For the COVID vaccine, I can understand the skepticism. It's too quick. It came out of nowhere. I don't know why this is. Like, I can understand why people are skeptic. Now, for me personally, I don't see why people are being why people are looking down on people who aren't vaxxed, because in all honesty, even despite what I said earlier, I just said that because I said I'm doing my part. This is why I got vaccinated. But I will not judge anybody that decides I don't want to put this in my body. I will not say that I would not look down to them. That's their choice. And in the end, if you don't get the vaccine, you're the one that's at risk. You don't put me at risk because I got vaccinated, right? But you put yourself at risk. Because even if you are vaccinated or you're not vaccinated, you can transmit the disease. So we can't use that argument. You can't be like, oh, you have to vaccinate so we stop the spread. No. You stop the spread by social distancing, by wearing masks, by taking the necessary precautions, washing your hands, make sure you're not touching too much stuff. That's how you take the necessary precautions. But when it comes to the vaccine, if you're not vaccinated, you're literally the one that's like, you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna rely on my immune system. I don't trust any of this. I believe that I know that's right, and you're going with it. And look, if you believe that, all more power to you. I'm not going to take that freedom away from you, because I do believe that the government shouldn't be allowed to just out of nowhere tell you, hey, you got to take this shot. No option. Like, I don't believe anybody has that kind of authority over your body, right? Like, I just don't. I feel like people should be entitled to have the option to at least say no. Now, is the government allowed to restrict you? Yes, because you're going to be using social programs, you're going to be using public places. Be expected to be like, well, you know what, we can't let you leave the country because we don't be held accountable if you go and spread COVID somewhere else. So right there, if you want to go into a business, you're like, well, you're not vaccinated, we can't really help you because you know what, you come in, you spread the dust, You spread the COVID here, they're gonna have to shut down our business, and we don't want to shut down our business. Like you have to live with the consequences of your decision, but that decision that you made, you are entitled to make that decision. Like I feel like I just feel like people have to really, when we're talking about this, they have to be extra careful. Like, I will never tell somebody not to get the vaccine. I will never tell somebody to get the vaccine. I am not a doctor. You talk to your doctor about that.
But I think someone just put an interesting comment. So that's doctors have differing opinions, which is true. But my thing is, again, for me, with this whole thing, I'm coming in here in a fully unbiased fashion. So I just think that you always have to use logic. How many doctors have said this vaccine is bogus, and how many doctors have said you should take the vaccine? More importantly, how many doctors have come out and said you shouldn't take the vaccine? It's not a large amount. Now, if there was a large amount of doctors that said, well, you should maybe wait and relax, then that's where you'd be like, oh, whoa, hold up. So unless there is this massive conspiracy where most of the doctors and scientists say, you know what, let's F this world up and so forth, then, because my thing is, always go with what the consensus is. The consensus isn't always right. The consensus, and like, we are operating in a world where we don't really know what's up. I told you again, like, we are probably going to have another lockdown again. And if this thing keeps on mutating, perhaps to have like another vaccine. So we are in uncharted territory here. So that's why when I go back to Jennifer Aniston, can you really completely hate on people who are against the vaccine?
She's trying
because yes, you should trust the science, but as much as you trust the science, you should also take stock and say, wait a minute, do the scientists know everything? Yes, we should trust the scientists, but we are in uncharted territory now. And maybe, and what is scary is we're now in a situation where even the scientists don't even have the answers. Yep. And they're just giving their best guesstimate, which is scary. So
no, and that's the thing is, I feel like what Jennifer Aniston is trying to do is he's trying to use her influence to help, like to influence people to take the vaccine. That's what she's trying to do. Like, and a lot
and it's going to work because, you see, and here's the thing right now is that because there are a lot of people who are huge fans of Friends, and a lot of people love Jennifer. She was one of the most popular characters on the show. So her just saying take the vaccine, people are like, oh, it's Jennifer. I totally believe it. And most people will, not all will. People are like, well, I love Jennifer, but hey, this is my body. So, but a lot of people are like, oh no, Jennifer is doing it, and therefore so forth. But see, my thing is, you see, I'm not one of those guys that, because I see a lot of people on Twitter who are like, after they take the vaccine, they go on Twitter and be like, hey man, I took my vaccine, here's my whole thing, and they post like a picture saying, yeah man, I took the vaccine, the first one and so forth, I believe in science, you guys are, I'm like,
that's a government agent, bro. That's 100%
I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to just take the vaccine and be like, just hope to God, touch wood, everything is all good, because I know that this isn't like, oh, I've not been to COVID and so forth. I still wear my mask. I'm still not going to touch you. If anybody spits at me, I'm going to slice your face off. So it's like,
here's the thing. Like, for me, I'm not going to lie to you. I like the reason. You want to know? Actually, another reason why I took the vaccine, Pfizer. Like, Pfizer, for me, I really rate that company. I really like it. Fun fact, guys. Pfizer is the reason I quit smoking. I used to smoke cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
Back when I was in Syria, I picked up a nasty habit back there, which, by the way, I want to talk about that one day, about the tobacco companies, how insidious they are and how they push themselves really on third world countries, where over there they market it as cool.
They have the whole smoking kills on the Pakistan and so forth. People still
it's different because they still, like, in North America, they or in the West, you guys have the money to really fight these tobacco companies in court to block them from advertising properly in your countries, whereas in overseas, in countries like Syria and poorer countries, they don't have those kind of facilities. Growing up, for me, smoking was considered cool. When you want to go and you're waiting for a girl, you like and still the say cigars and stuff, like, you have like having a Marlboro pack, it was like, oh, look at him, he's got money. So smoking, it was a very nasty habit. I hate when I moved back here, I just wanted to quit it. It was really, really, really bad, especially because I was very athletic, and it really it really did really ruined my endurance, my stamina. So what I ended up doing is there's I got a medicine prescribed to me by my doctor. It's called Pfizer. So it's called Champix. It's made by Pfizer. And what that does is essentially it blocks off the neuron receptors that make you crave nicotine. It makes you stop that. That kind of craving, and I use their program, and it ended up working out for me, and I quit, and I've been clean, and thankfully haven't smoked since. Don't go near those cigarettes. Nothing. It completely helped me off of it. So yeah, no, 100% Chainsaw. Smoking is literally the most disgusting habit.
But people what's weird, that even if I've never smoked and it's something that I don't like, I'm not bothered by people smoke. I think because my dad, he smoked a lot.
Oh no.
And maybe I grew up with just being used to his cigar smokes and so forth.
Same with me. Yep.
I'm a guy that says, if you smoke, I'm like, oh. And also, what's it called? My friends smoke. So I've just grew up with those friends smoking.
My friends smoke too. I'm not against smokers. I'm saying it's a disgusting habit for you personally, because anyone who smokes will tell you this. Because one, your fingertips will start turning yellow where you hold the cigarette. Two, your mouth, your teeth are going to start turning yellow from the nicotine. Your tongue starts turning yellow. You constantly hygiene, your hygiene. You're always going to be feeling that you smell. Not only that, even if you smoke inside your house, which is even nastier, everything's going to get turned to a yellow tint, because nicotine, it just doesn't disappear. It goes and sticks on the walls. They'll turn yellow. But
the issue though, Red, is that again, I said a story. One of my Japanese friends back in school, this guy never smoked. And this guy was he is a freaking genius. He actually was one of the smartest people in the whole school and so forth.
Yep.
So coming up to our final exams in our final year, he was really stressed, super stressed.
Yep.
And he was so stressed that he took up smoking. And I was like, yo, Yasu, bro, why you're the last guy I would think of ever smoking. And yes, sir, look, I'm stressed, because this stuff is tough, and the smoking actually helps me to reduce my stress.
No. And you know what the problem is? The thing is now he's going to have more stress because of the smoking. Two things. When you smoke, it's going to make you more anxious, right? So in certain scenarios, let's say I'm talking with you on the podcast right now.
So it doesn't calm you down.
No, it calms you down when you smoke, but the thing is, you start becoming addicted to it, so now you become more anxious to crave the second cigarette. So I'll give you an example right now. Let's just say I want to smoke, but I don't want to smoke on stream in front of everybody, right? So I'll be right now talking to you. I'll start getting anxious. I just want to end the podcast, so I could just go outside and have a cigarette, or I could just go and puff one. And because of that, you start getting stressed out even more, because now you're stressing out because you want another cigarette. You can do that when you're at work. Let's say you're dealing with customers and you're dealing with a client or whatever. And I just want to finish up so I could just go out and have a smoke. I just want to end all this so I could just go out and get out of here. You don't I look, smoking is not something yes, once you smoke, that deep breath, that inhale, the hot air, when you blow it out, it is very relaxing. But what ends up happening afterwards, you're just gonna go back in the cycle. And then after a while, when you start all the side effects start coming onto you, you're gonna start. I'm gonna say this. It's not gonna be relaxing, because when you smoke, you constantly feel that guilt. Not only that, guys, when you smoke, it leads to erectile dysfunction. It also causes male pattern, it'll cause baldness. It will also
well, I'm already bald.
no, but the thing is,
even more baldness. You
I mean, you don't want erectile dysfunction, at least that, because what it does is it weakens your bloodstream. It causes it weakens your blood isn't the blood pressure is not as strong, so your blood won't get to your head, which causes your hair to fall out, and your dick requires blood to be able to get hard.
Actually, what's the difference between vaping and smoking?
I honestly, I didn't get into vaping at all. But vaping,
because I see a lot of people vaping now.
Vaping for me, I feel is terrible. Vaping for me, I think is bad. I don't feel like it's any better than alcohol. It's just it doesn't have the hygienic side effects of smoking, but it does have the same side effects for your body. Because
two Japanese friends, Tai Chi and Yasu. So shout out to Tai Chi and Yasu if you're listening.
Shout out to those guys. But as for pot, I don't pot is not that bad though. I'll be honest with you. Pot the smell doesn't linger. It smells worse when you're smoking, but it doesn't linger. It doesn't have as much of the hygienic problems. And with pot, it's a half hour high that you'll have, and then you'll be gone. But
so let's hit it. So So, our final topic of the day. This is on a 5 yeah. Um, Disney against Scarlett Johansson, man.
Yep.
So, let me just give you a rundown for anyone who knows. So, Black Widow, movie starring Scarlett Johansson, part of the Avengers and so forth. It got delayed, obviously due to COVID. So it finally came out this year. Obviously, due to COVID, it had like a limited theater release, and Disney, because they didn't want to lose money off of it, because they know that not everybody is vaccinated, not everybody's going out into theaters. They released it in cinema for a short period of time. Then they also released it on Disney Plus, where they are charging like $40, $50, $60. Actually, no, $30 to watch it on Disney Plus. And the cinema chains have said, Disney, you screwed us over. By you releasing it on Disney Plus, most people would opt to, first of all, avoid the risk of getting COVID by watching it in the cinema, and would prefer to sit at home and watch Black Widow. Now, if you're a family, if you're a single person, $30 is crazy. It's bank robbery. Now, if you're a family of 4 or 5, $30 is an amazing deal, because if you're a family of several people, you're going to be paying way more than $30, because prices for everyone, concessions and so forth, and also travel there and back. So for a family, $30 is a great price. So really for Disney, they're looking good. Now Scarlett Johansson says, hold up, wait a minute. How is it that I have something in my contract that says I will get a portion of the box office earnings from the theater? But by you releasing it on Disney Plus, that has jeopardized my chance of making as much money as possible from it being released in theaters, because most people will opt to watch it on Disney Plus, therefore making it very difficult for me earning some good coin. So she is now suing Disney for, I think, $40-50 million, of which she felt that she would receive. Disney now fight back by saying, Scarlett, we already paid you $20 million, and you are really not recognizing what kind of difficult position that we are in as a company in trying to make as much money for a film that we have had to delay several times, because we just know we're not going to make enough money through theaters, and these are very, very special circumstances. But a lot of people are saying Disney are losers and so forth. But see, Red, this is where I come at, because it's complicated. On face value, see, you should look at things on face value, then look deeper. Now, on face value, of course, Scarlett Johansson is right. Disney screwed you over, because it's like, even if in the contract it doesn't say you can make money off Disney Plus, by you saying that, but by you putting it on Disney Plus, you are screwing my chances of making this amount of money. But Red, where I stop caring is Scarlett Johansson. You got paid. You're already a multimillionaire. You got paid $20 million. Red, I watched Black Widow. That film ain't great. Scarlett Johansson was the worst thing about that film. So not only were you crap at your job that you got paid $20 million for, you have the audacity to now try and ask for more money by being garbage and crap in your own movie, where you were outacted by Florence Pugh and so forth. So my thing is, why are people worked up over a multi-millionaire trying to sue a billionaire? That makes no sense.
See,
but let's go ahead. And here's the thing, though, because it goes back to the little people. It goes back to the little people, because see, I'm always a guy that wants to fight for the little people. You see, when I heard that, because for me, it crushes my soul, because I'm a big film lover. Like, for me, I love football and films like this. My love for football and films is exactly like this. See, I'm a guy that I go to the cinema to watch a film opening night, and I'm a guy that wants, because I am before I did this whole YouTube thing, I wanted to be an actor. I've been acting since I was 7-8 years old. Like, in plays, I've been in films, I've directed films. So acting was good. So I love film. So it crushes my soul to see how cinemas have been screwed over by COVID. Yep. Because the cinema experience is something that I truly miss. So I feel sorry for the cinema chains. So because those are the little people, those are the guys who want minimum wage. So I'm looking at the ushers, I'm looking at the people who work at the concession stands and so forth, who will be feeling the effects of the cinemas not making enough money because Disney have put this on Disney Plus. So those are the guys I feel sorry for. Why the freaking hell should I feel sorry for Scarlett Johansson because you can't get 50 million on top of the 20 million you already made? That's screwed up, because that's why I've been having arguments on Twitter with people saying, wait, guys, hold up. This isn't about right is right or wrong is wrong. No. Let's care about the cinema employees. Let's care about the cinema chains and so forth. The little people, the regular people. Why should we have any empathy for a multimillionaire who is a crap actress and who was flipping garbage and trash in your own film? So you are trashing your own film, and you have the cheek and audacity.
I feel like you're going a bit hard on Scarlett. I feel like you're going a little bit too hard.
I'm not going hard enough. Red, did you watch Black Widow?
No. No reason to. Why?
Okay. I watched. No. You were crap.
Yeah.
So because it's different. See, when you watch the film, you viewed it because I watched that film, and see, Florence Pugh was really good. She was like this. She was like the breakout star.
Did she play Yelena? Did she play Yelena? What's her name?
Yeah. Like the sister. No, she was good. Scarlett Johansson was garbage. So first of all, you were garbage in your film, and you have the freaking audacity to sue for 50 mil?
But I'll
be honest with you, man. That's first of all problems, man. Out of here, man.
Okay, so watch. Here's the thing. I'm gonna talk about the case, and I'll talk a little bit about Marvel and Disney and all that stuff. Personally, names are irrelevant. Disney's trying to be smart here. They're taking advantage of a shifting or of an evolving industry, right? The cinematic industry is evolving right now, especially that's adapting to COVID. Now, if in her contract she says that she gets a percentage of the revenue intake. Now, obviously, Disney probably have the best lawyers. They could definitely argue that, no, we meant by theaters, and they could probably win off that case. But for precedent's sake, for the artist, because I like to support, again, the little guy. I'm always for the little guy versus the industry. Even if the little guy is infinitely bigger than me. But Scarlett Johansson is a minnow compared to Disney.
Red. No. Red. I can't. Yes, Scarlett Johansson is... No, Red. I'm sorry. No, Red. And someone who is a multimillionaire cannot be a little person. I'm sorry. Even if
I said by comparison.
No, Red. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm Red. I'm sorry. I can't.
Precedent. I'll tell you this. If you allow them to bully somebody the size of Scarlett Johansson, with this kind of contract, they could do this to the small actors that are just trying to get up off the ground. They could do this to anybody. You allow Disney to do this. These corporations already have enough power and enough legal protection.
But Red, it's Red. This is simple. You sign a different contract. Because all you have to do is you bound up together and say, remember, you need us. You need Denzel. You need Gosling. You need Russell Crowe. You need Viola Davis. So if you want to now say, hey, guys, from moving forward, we will now be releasing things day and day. But, lawyer, in my contract, I want where it says
and that's
I
why
want
they're here
a portion. And if there's no portion, then screw you.
This movie was probably in the works like 3-4 years ago, pre-pandemic, way before pre-pandemic. So nobody could have actually thought that this was, because Disney would have never released it straight to.
And also, Red, you know what? If you want to go legal, because I was reading something on Hollywood Reporter, nowhere in the contract does it use the word exclusive. It never says in the contract that your payments. That's the release is going to be exclusive to theaters. So because it doesn't use the word exclusive, Disney have a freaking loophole. It's disgusting. It's sick. They have a loophole.
And that's my point. Is that based off of morals, I don't believe what she's doing is wrong. She's entitled to actually sue and fight for it, because I do believe that Disney is wrong in this. Because look, I love Disney movies. I grew up on them. Like Aladdin's one of my favorite. I love Mulan. Make a Man Out of You. It's in my workout playlist. And then Mulan, like that shit gets me like
Basil Grisman's Detective and Robin Hood, man.
Like incredible movies. Like there's so many Disney classics that I grew up on and I love, right? But let's put that aside. Let's look at the corporation as it is. It's a huge. Just they own so many media. They own ABC, ESPN. They own Fox. They own Marvel. They own everything. Like they're huge, and like the reason why they're so huge, they own Star Wars, they own literally pretty much every huge franchise. Probably just not Harry Potter or Pokemon. Those are probably the only two franchises, major franchises that they don't own. And Warner DC Warner Brothers. That's it. Aside from that, Disney, you can't be a company of that size and that magnitude and work cleanly. This is all shady business, and they work like you saw what they did to Robin Williams.
What did they do?
Do you know why Robin Williams never showed up in Aladdin 2 or 3? He only was in the first one because he told them Robin Williams was a huge actor where he liked different roles. He never wanted to be in a definitive role. Right, he never wanted that. So when he was doing that, when they came to him with the genie idea, which you can actually go see the video on YouTube, where they drew, like somebody took Robin Williams stand up and he drew the genie to his stand up, and he was like, "You're a perfect fit for this." Like they made the genie and then they made Aladdin around it. So Robin Williams said, "Look, I'll agree to do this as long as my name is only like I'm only in 10% of the merchandising, like that's it. Like I don't want to be plastered everywhere. I don't want my name. He doesn't want to be like the Minions. You know how the Minions are everywhere.
Yeah.
Or he didn't want to be that. He wanted it to be what's it called? He wanted it to be just sort of low key, just him part of it. And he said on the poster, I can't be bigger than any of the other characters. Right now, obviously Disney wrote up contracts. It was sketchy. I forgot how they found the loophole, but they made it like 10% of everything, which in the end they ended up plastering his face everywhere. And that's why you see the genie is everywhere. Back in the 90s, genie merchandise was everywhere. It was on shirts. His songs were everywhere. He was one of the most beloved Disney characters like ever, like in the 90s. But they screwed him over, and that's why Robin Williams vowed never to work with Disney ever again. And he never showed in the second one and second and third Aladdin. They brought the guy who voiced Homer Simpson to do the voice of the genie. If you actually go back and watch it, you can see he's doing like an imitation of Robin Williams' personality. So Disney have been doing this. They've been screwing over artists for years. Like literally, the only artist that I know that I know of that in the past has actually succeeded against these like big studios was Jack Nicholson in the Batman. When he did the Joker, because he got a huge cut because he said I want to be paid a percentage, and they didn't screw him over. But even Disney with Star Wars, what they did, they told actors they'll pay them based off of the profit, but they would just increase cost to not pay them because they're being paid based off of profit.
No. Disney are evil SOBs.
Yeah,
they are the evil empire, and it's so ironic and funny that they have presented ourselves, every single kid who grew up and so forth. You grew up with Disney movies, so that they present themselves with that happy blah blah blah. But really, these guys are evil. I went to Paris for holiday, and I was like, and also for some reason, like my hotel was right next to Disneyland in Paris. So I was like, you know what, let me go to Disneyland. Do you know how much these guys were charging to enter Disney? I was like, screw you. I was literally at the gates and I looked at the prices. I was like, I'm not paying all those euros to enter the freaking Disneyland. You know.
Disneyland,
because I wanted to see Captain America's shield, man. So
Disneyland is its own sovereign territory. Like Disneyland have the ability, and you know when you're not allowed to die on Disney property. Like you're not allowed to die. They make sure that if somebody were to pass away, they take him and move. They won't declare him dead till he's off the property. Disneyland, like bro, when you look at like the history, especially look when it's a business that's this old. It's obviously, like I said, that's the song.
But and I think that this goes to the notion of a billionaire always wants to make a money maker is never tired of making money.
Yep.
So all because Disney are billions and they own everything, it doesn't mean that we own everything. No, they want to own more and even more. Because let's keep it real. Disney, are you telling me that you would really be out of so much money by not cutting a deal with your actors and your leader actors who are literally your talents? Because as much as I think Scarlett Johansson is a trash actress, put it to one side. In general, why wouldn't you want to cut a deal with people, with the stars of your movie?
Okay, one thing real quick, because I really want people in the chat to actually watch this movie. It's called Don John. right? It has
Gordon Levitt and Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. I believe that's personally for me, that's her best performance. She kills that role, and I feel like she plays it to a T. Guys, definitely go watch it. For all the guys out there, it's a great movie for guys. It's a great movie for guys.
Did Seth Rogen direct and write it?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think
was it Gordon Levitt?
I think it was Gordon Levitt. It was for Gordon Levitt. I love his movies. Gordon Levitt is actually, I think honestly, he's my favorite actor because I love 500 Days of Summer, and I love what's it called, Snowden, and I loved Don.
Funny thing about him, because did you used to watch Third Rock from the Sun?
Of course, yeah. He was
with John Lithgow, yeah. Because that's what I first. But funny thing though, while he was doing that, my brother, because my oldest brother went to Columbia, he was classmates with him, with Gordon Levitt.
Really?
So while he was doing Third Rock from the Sun, they were both classmates and they took the same class.
What's funny is I remember I used to watch Third Rock from the Sun when I was a kid, right? It was super funny. It was a great show. But then what happened, he sort of just disappeared. And when I saw him again was in The Dark Knight Rises. And then from The Dark Knight Rises, that's when I saw Don John. I saw his movies. He started popping up movies, so I started going back and watching some of his catalog, and I was surprised. The guy's actually a fantastic artist. But besides the point, when it comes to look, for Scarlett Johansson, I feel like for Disney, this is actually bad PR for them. Because I feel like a lot of actors are trying to get into the MCU, and they feel like because it's a good meal ticket for them, you're going to be part of a franchise where you come back. And I felt like,
no, it's just a red. Once you're hearing that someone like Al Pacino might be in the MCU, then you know that this is.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, HH. I think the MCU is garbage with a total of 3 or 4 probably good films.
It's garbage. It's
garbage. Like Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1 is okay. Iron Man 1 is just okay. Robert Downey Jr. is a fantastic actor, and he killed that role. But the movie itself is okay. It's so okay that I don't even remember who the bad guy was. I just remember in the end he just flew up in a straight line and the guy died.
No. MCU is trash, but the only MCU movies I like are Captain America. I just say to people, my ringtone, again, shout out to the Matrix. My ringtone is the Captain America theme song.
Yeah,
that's how much I love those movies. But no, MCU as a whole, it's
Captain America 2 and Civil War are fantastic, amazing. The Winter Soldier.
I love the first one as well.
The first one. The thing is how does that make any sense? So you have a super soldier, right? Who you injected with steroids.
It's emotional, man.
No. One second. You have a super soldier, and he's proven, and he just literally chased a Nazi throughout Brooklyn and all of that. And then what do? They make him a mascot, and the soldiers are laughing at him. What? Why is he a mascot? That makes no sense. No. And then we don't get to see any action throughout the entire movie. We don't get to see any. And then in the end, when we do get to the action, when Captain America starts kicking ass, it's a freaking montage, a 3-minute montage. And then let's say one sec. Red Skull, right? Red Skull. The battle in the end, that was probably one of the wackest climaxes, probably only rivaled by Black Panther's climax because you can't even see anything, right? It's just no Captain America the first one,
but
it's better than Thor, but it's worse than Iron Man.
No, all those criticisms, they all make sense, right? They all make sense, but my thing is that it's a great story. What's the strength of that film is the storytelling.
I agree.
Just how you saw this weedy little kid who is nothing, and how he now became busy. So the thing that draws it to is that it's just a really good, strong character story. Look, everything into account. Winter Soldier is money. If you take action story, Winter Soldier is, and also we may discuss this another day. I don't care what I've been saying this for years. Winter Soldier is better than The Dark Knight.
No, that's definitely not right. No.
Red, yes, it is.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, Red. Very quickly. From which film has better character growth, Winter Soldier or Dark Knight? Of the lead character.
Not comparable. It's not comparable. I'll tell you why. Because first of all, The Dark Knight, you can't just isolate it just by itself as a movie, because the Dark Knight trilogy is just one story arc for the superhero, where Christopher Nolan wanted to tell one story of one version of Batman from his inception,
which was trash.
Who he said, no, it wasn't. Dark Knight Rises is one of my favorite movies of all time. I even like The Dark Knight Rises.
You see, Red. We're gonna get to another one.
The Dark Knight. I'll be honest.
Because I'm a huge Batman fan. I told you, Red. I still have PTSD of those movies, and I'm sorry. Dark Knight's for me very well made film, overrated, and Batman was trash. Dark Knight Rises is a crap film.
The amount of detail. The thing is, the amount of detail that I saw throughout that trilogy, because there are plot points from the first Batman, the Batman Begins, that end up in the Dark Knight Rises that get tied up.
But it doesn't hold up very well. No, see,
it does.
No, because no. If you look at the Captain America trilogy, you can chart the story arc from beginning to end.
Because when I watch any Marvel movie, I don't believe it because everything is CGI. Even the rooms when they're sitting inside a room on the table, the table is CGI.
If you put the CGI to one, screw the freaking CGI. If you look at the relationship between Steve Rogers and the Winter Soldier, Steve and Bucky, that is a great relationship that you see from First Avenger to now. That bomb-ass trash Dark Knight. Begins was money. Wait. Begins was money. Bro, Red, I don't care what it says. Dark Knight was Joker's film. Joker. No. Batman was a side chick in his own film. Also, as I read, you can't even hear what this bomb says. You can't hear what this freaking loser says. No, Red, you couldn't hear what that freaking loser said.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying from the Batman aspect, from the voice, because I have criticism of the voice. But it's a trilogy. The Joker was set in place to test Batman's morals. Batman was established. Batman Begins. He was established as a superhero that's helping. He's going from the back shadows, doing things that cops can't do to get dirt on these mobsters and all this stuff. When it came to the Batman, the Dark Knight, it was the Joker was there to push Batman to his limits. You had the Joker to set up to see how can you break the Batman, which he didn't, but he broke the best of them, which was Harvey Dent, right? Because Harvey Dent
and Red. Harvey Dent had a much more developed character.
He does because of course, because
it's a
because
freaking
the main story. The main story. No.
Film.
The main story.
A more developed.
The main character in the Dark Knight trilogy is Gotham City. They're fighting for the soul of Gotham. That is the established goal. Everything Batman does, Batman is just our journeyman throughout it, who pushes us through the city. But it is the Gotham from the beginning. In the Batman Begins, when he's sitting down beside Falcone, what does he tell him about the city, how it's rotting?
So he drives with so Red. So you're saying that the main character is Gotham. So so where's Batman? I thought we're watching a Batman.
But Batman is the one that's
the main character.
They show you how Batman's entire battle from the first one, like how he defeats underground crime, how he establishes and fears them. Where in the second one, the criminals are meeting up during the day, right? And then when they actually when he ends up defeating the Joker, and they say that Batman killed the Joker and Harvey Dent didn't. They do the Harvey Dent Act, right, where they lock up all the prisoners, and then that's when the League of Shadows comes back, it reemerges.
No.
Now, one second, and you see even in the third one, and this is why I love Christopher Nolan, because detail. Look at how they portray Gotham in the third one. Sunshine, it's all lighted up. It's all lit up. It's not like in the first two where it was much more gritty. Now, what happens is, what does he tell him? He was like, you did all of that with your method, because they wanted to do the League of Shadow way, where they burn everything to the ground and then build it back up, where Batman wanted to salvage it. And what did he tell him? He told him, like, you do all of this, and the only thing that you could come up with is a lie. Like, the only way that piece that you brought was based off a lie that Batman was the murderer when it was Harvey Dent. Because if they found out that Harvey Dent was the murderer, then all the criminals got off.
But see, Red, this is all cute. But at the end of the day, in the Batman trilogy, I cannot tell you Batman's character progression from Begins to Rises. In the Captain America trilogy, I can tell you that from the first film, you saw a guy who was fully idealistic and believed in America and the American way. In Winter Soldier, you saw a dude that said, oh my gosh, everything I believed in and so forth has come crumbling down. Like, I now have to do things and believe off of myself as an individual rather than this ideal. And in the third film, he was like, I am willing to rest and die off of my values and my views, and also I'm willing to rest and die off of the friendship of this guy, no matter what anyone brings. Hence why he chose Bucky, who he's known from the get-go, over Tony Stark, who he just did, and he had to make that tough decision. So you just saw the progression of the man.
But the thing is,
Bruce, that's trash Bruce Wayne.
But Captain America gets everything he wants. Everything. Captain America literally learns nothing. Captain America literally nothing. He wins everything. Bro, in Civil War, he ends up getting away with Bucky and gets no punishments. In the first Avenger, apparently he dies. He loses his life. By the end of his arc, by the end of Civil
War, he drops the freaking shield and says,
he drops the shield.
I'm done.
No, he drops it. He gives it back because his father made him that shield. Remember, but like, so Captain America. But I mean, like, if you look at his entire story arc throughout the Avengers, he learns nothing. He ends up with the woman that he supposedly lost.
No.
His best friend, who he thought he lost, is
I just
back
don't
and
know.
alive.
Wait. Red. I just told you what he learned. He learns that you can't trust anyone, and you've got to go on your own. And once you go on your own, there are going to be consequences.
But it goes nowhere. It goes Civil War, which they built it up. I was watching the MCU. I'm like, man, this is going to be amazing.
Civil War ended with him.
In the Captain, it was resolved in 15 seconds in Endgame. Literally, they just shake hands.
Oh, forget Endgame. No, that's trash. Let's look.
You can't forget Endgame. You can't forget Endgame. It's part of a story arc. It's all one story. It's part of a story arc.
No, Red. We're comparing trilogies. We're comparing Batman trash Dark Knight trilogy, and I'm saying that in that Dark Knight trilogy, Red. Do you know that Batman? If you were to count it, Bruce Wayne was Batman for 2 years, and he quit to spend time with Selena Kyle in rich restaurants.
It was implied that it's more than 2 years. It was implied that he had been Batman for a while.
Let's say, no. If you look at it, maximum 3 years, and that is maximum. That loser was Batman for 3 years, then he quit. He faked his own death. That's what you call a bomb.
Because one second. Because the whole point of the Batman, Christopher Nolan's vision was to make it as grounded as possible. Everything was supposed to be realistic.
Which failed,
even that scene, you know that scene when they were timing it, when he said, "Oh, they have 15 minutes." That scene is exactly 15 minutes. Everything is corroborated to be exactly perfect. Or that scene where Harvey Dent sneaks into the mobster's car to kill him, right? If you actually go back and watch that scene, look at the mirror of the car, you could see how Harvey Dent slips into the car. You could actually see it all.
But this is a separate question. Are you telling me that the character of Batman in all three films is better realized than the character of Captain America in those three films? Are you gonna look at me straight?
I believe that Captain Batman is a more realistic approach on how a human would be in that scenario.
That's what I asked. What is a better written character over three films?
Yeah, Batman.
Bruce Wayne in Batman.
Because Batman, if you were put in the same positions that Batman was in, you would probably react the same way. Whereas Steve Rogers, in a lot of his situations, they're just so absurd. Like, how does your friend come back 100 years later, has not aged a bit, was under Russian control? How come he hasn't aged? They never explain that. You never explain anything. With the Captain America, you have to really like suspend belief. You really have to. You just have to be like, okay, this just happened. The only one I do love Winter Soldier, because I love that aspect of, you are right. I love how they did that with Captain America, because he's supposed to live up to the American ideals, and he came from an era where America was, like that old school 1950s, all that stuff, 1940s, like classic American propaganda.
Cool. So look, we're going to be here for ages because we're not. So guys, we'll be doing like 5 minutes of questions. 5 minutes of questions, and then we'll go through. So guys,
we can go to the top of the hour if you want, till 4 p.m. if you have time, HH.
Oh no! I mean, I've got to be out of here in about 10 minutes because of course. Gotcha. So I'm going to be at 10. So guys, send in any questions and so forth. Messi, man, did he see the press conference?
Yeah. I saw that, man. Look, I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone is crying, man.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That like, look, I was very disappointed to hear that. Like, as a Madrid fan, honestly, I've always wanted Messi to stay at Barcelona. Because look, before I'm a Madrid fan,
change is good. Change is good.
Change is good, but HH, like, not gonna lie, HH, this kind of change is not, because look, Messi is a legend. Like, he's like, if you think he's the GOAT, or you don't think he's the GOAT, he is one of a kind. He's a unicorn in the football history.
Yes,
he's an anomaly. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I've always respected Messi to the highest regard. I've been hypercritical of his performances internationally and all that stuff, but that's only because I expect more from him. That's because he's at an insane standard, and I just feel like to see him go, and especially like I didn't want him to go to PSG in particular. Like, I thought, look, if you're gonna go, man, why don't go to Argentina, to Rosario for 1 year? Let Barcelona fix up their finances and then come back.
No, that's trash. That's trash.
No. That would be the mogul move. That would be the mogul move.
No. You see, Red, this is better because what this is like, bro, I still want to compete. Who knows where I will be after 1 year? Because next year could be the year I begin to decline. I still feel I'm at the best. I just come off a superb Copa America. Let me come and give a competitive club my very best, because I still want to compete. I'm not going to just waste a whole year freaking Rosario so forth. Nah, come on, man.
No, I'll be honest with you. I feel like he does. I feel like if he does that, I feel like that's. I feel like it's just to come back to Barcelona, because I've always seen him as only playing for Barca in Europe because he said that. He said, "I'm only going to be playing in Barca."
Well, it's not happening because Barca have messed up the finances. Have you listened to Nas's new album, King of Disease?
No, I haven't.
Listen, it's good.
Is it good?
Do you know what? Lauryn Hill.
Is she on it? I honestly have not. I've been listening. Look, if I show you my playlist right now,
I said, I don't think you heard me. Red, I'll say it one more last time. Lauryn Hill, and she doesn't sing.
She's rapping. She hasn't rapped in since '97.
Red. After we're done, Spotify, iTunes. I don't know what you do.
I got it right here, ready. It's ready. I'm going to the gym after this, so I'm gonna be pushing away this album.
Nobody, literally, you can play her verse on real.
Guys, let's trigger HH. Did Eminem destroy Nas on his own record?
He didn't actually.
He didn't.
He didn't. So no. because we could see Nas was aware. Remember, it was Nas who even set the whole thing in motion by saying it on Ether. He was the guy that said, "Oh, you got trash on your record." So Nas was like, "No, I'm not going to allow that to happen to me."
You on your own shit.
Yeah, that's
you dick riding. You love the but what's it called? Real quick, I will say this though, guys. If you ever want, there's only one rapper that I've ever seen beat Eminem on his own record was T.I. T.I. killed Eminem on All She Wrote. I feel like T.I. actually went off on that one. But yeah, sorry, what's but Kingsley's? I'll listen to it, Sauceman, and I promise you next week I'll give you an answer because I'm a huge Nas fan. Actually, I was a Nas fan more so than a Jay-Z fan, but with age, I started liking Jay-Z more.
No, for me, Nas is. I've been Nas over Jay-Z all day. I've always been Nas over Jay-Z.
Jay.
Bro, is that vinyl?
The vinyl, bro.
Oh yeah, wow.
This is the blueprint. I have it. No, when it comes to Jay, bro, it's just look, his bars.
See, what I'll say is I prefer Nas, and I think Nas is the better rapper. Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time because Jay-Z is the only guy who literally
everything.
So basically, longevity, skill,
commercial
club records, girls records, introspective records, features, longevity.
He's real. He's done it. For me, that's why I love Jay-Z because one, I feel he's authentic. Two, personally, I relate to him. I love his especially when for example,
but it's not even about related because that's why. So when people say, "Oh, Eminem can't be the GOAT because he has no girl records," Jay-Z literally ticks every single box of what a rapper can do.
Girls love Eminem.
No, but what are his girl tracks? What are his club tracks?
Shake that ass with Nate Dogg. Shake that ass for me.
Okay, has Eminem made a club track anywhere close to Girls? Girls is that's on my playlist.
There's been a couple of times where I went out. There's been a couple of times when I went out and I saw what's it called? Slim Shady, the real Slim Shady. Please stand up. That's always in clubs. That plays a lot. Trust me, they mix it up a lot. Yeah. Or Superman's a breakup song.
So okay, let's do last question. So after Cameron releases 5 Avatar films, will his career be split into 2 before Avatar and after Avatar? Looks like he's going to finish the second half of his career. Will that make him better than Spielberg? You see, for me, Spielberg is the greatest director of all time. Now, I probably prefer James Cameron's movies because T2, basically both Terminator films are some of my favorite films of all time. Those films are, because see, even if Spielberg is the GOAT, there's a certain edge and darkness and grittiness that Cameron has that Spielberg doesn't have. So there's something about T2. From the outside, I see T2 for me, in my opinion, is the greatest film of all time because T2 is the only film that has everything. It has action, it has comedy, it has special effects, it has references to pop culture, it has comedy. It's the only movie that has almost every aspect of cinema within it. So, but look, Avatar was alright, but James Cameron, man, this guy has been spending. Bro, Avatar came out in 2009.
So yeah, no, it's actually crazy how much it holds up. I'll be real with this. For Steven Spielberg, for me, I did love Steven Spielberg because his movies have something that's called whimsy. He always tries to be whimsical, right? When an actor's sitting there, and the music starts coming, and the camera zooms in, he's like that shit. He always adds that shit. So for me, with age, I kind of moved away from Steven Spielberg. I haven't liked that. I love it because I love 80s media and 90s media, especially 80s. 80s is probably my favorite movie decade. Movies like Big. I love Big. More like Back to the Future, any of those. But when it comes to Dave Cameron, I love his '90s career, but not gonna lie to you, Avatar as a spectacle, as direction, phenomenal. But as a movie, it's just Pocahontas remixed.
Yeah, no. Avatar. It's. I just like the film, but it's nothing great. It's not special, but I just like the film.
Yeah, it's just, but it's just. Have you ever watched Pocahontas? It's literally Pocahontas.
No, it is.
Remix. That's all it is.
Actually, have you heard of a film called Ferngully?
Yeah, of course, Ferngully. Yeah.
Go watch it. It is exactly
the same. The human being gets shrunk, and then he goes, and then man comes with his machines to tear down the forest. And
so guys, look, man, it's been cool. It's been great. I mean, so hopefully, Red will be back here as long as you're sober. We should be back here again.
Actually, I was gonna say, it's like we might like because I do have a camping trip actually next week. So if you want to go, yeah. Like
you still go camping?
Well, honestly, I don't. But like, there's this area. It's in northern Ontario. It's called Tobermory. It's beautiful. It's like the water there. Is crystal clear, like literally crystal. I'll send pics. I'll show you.
Okay.
But like, it's absolutely beautiful. And the night sky, there's no light pollution over there, so you get to see the night. So we're going there mostly just for that kind of stuff. And camping, it's just because that's where the location is. But personally speaking, like I'm going there mostly for the outdoors and just to enjoy the water and that. But if you want to do it, if you want to like pre-record it for the guys or like
I think because I'm thinking that we should definitely try to because what I'm thinking is if we do things pre-record and for the live show we just do like a Q&A, so we make the live show more interactive.
Sounds
as a Q&A, and then we do like a pre-record. So guys, look, man, whatever the case may be, we'll see you when we see you, man. Guys, like the vid. I remember, guys, we are on Spotify, we're on iTunes, and we're on SoundCloud. So just type in HH Red Podcast so you can listen to this episode and previous episodes. So yeah, remember to follow us on either Spotify, on iTunes, or on SoundCloud, and we're all there.
And leave a like, guys. Leave comments. Like I said, I try my best to respond to every comment, and or like if you guys have any recommendations for topics, because these topics me and HH come up with, they're usually on the fly. Whatever we see on the day.
So anything you want, please.
Literally, you guys want us to talk about anything? If we didn't answer your question here, but you want us to talk about it, leave it in the comments. Like we try as much as possible to interact with you guys and give you guys the best possible show that you guys want to see.
All right, guys.
Yeah, man. Peace out, guys.
One love. Peace.